Now Keith Thurman makes his way to the stage. One-time former world champion, looking to get his belts back later this year. Yeah. As he takes a seat. Once again, raise your hand. We'll find you, ask a question for your media members. First, we'll turn things over to Keith Thurman. Say a few words on your performance tonight. You know, 2.5 years people have been waiting for you to get back into the ring, and now we had it. It looked impressive, getting the unanimous decision victory. How did you feel?
I felt pretty good in there. You know, I felt like after landing some big shots, I should have been able to have some follow-ups. But you know, I learned and I assessed everything. I just used my craftiness in there. He was more poised than I thought. I thought he'd be a little bit eager. I was trying to get him to take chances. There was no holding. That was kind of interesting and nice. We both stayed on the outside. He had a great jab like we expected, and we just worked around it. You know, I let him touch me a little bit, and he touched me a lot. I landed the bigger shots, and that was the game plan the whole time. I just want to thank everybody who came out and supported, everybody who bought the pay-per-view, everybody who supports Keith Thurman and everything that I've done in my career. We're finally back. I'm looking forward to having a terrific 2022, and I just hope you guys enjoyed this show and look forward to more from your man Keith One-Time Thurman.
Stephen Cadeno, Carolina Sports Store here. Congratulations on a great fight. It was very entertaining. There were a couple of times you had him rocked. He, you know, kind of stanky leg a little bit. Did you? Why couldn't you get the finish? Was he just kind of recuperated a little faster than you expected?
You know, I'm gonna be honest, man. I just need to get back to the killer. You know, I think I've been a little too nice to my sparring partners, and just a little too nice to my past opponents. You know, 12-round championship boxing is just at a different level, you know? And the last thing you want to do is try to get somebody out of there, fall short, and not have the gas for the later rounds. And I think that what I need to do, you know, I'm good at my endurance in the ring, I'm good at my craftiness, I'm good at my movement, but I need that high intensity interval training where pretty much I need to be doing sprints, things to where once when I land a nice shot, I need to be able to rush, get back on that Mike Tyson, right? But see, we know Mike Tyson, some people say, was only a 4-round, 6-round fighter because he put so much energy in those early rounds trying to get those knockouts. So it's a double-edged sword, but I know the sports science and how to be crafty enough in boxing, and it takes a different high interval training. There's one modality from my sports nutritionist of a form of training that I've never used up to this day, and I'm going to stop neglecting that because I think that's the one thing that I'm missing when it comes to finishing off these opponents. And I do believe that once when I have that missing piece, that I can once again be at the top of this welterweight division.
Keith, congratulations on an impressive victory. You've been out the ring for a while, so
raise your hand. Who's talking?
Dante's Boxing Nation by way of RPTV.
Okay, it was the mask. I couldn't tell who was talking.
Yeah. How important was it for you to have an impressive outing due to the fact you were out of the ring for a while?
Oh, it's definitely important, you know. But I know my skills, my talents. I know that I'm world class. And I just wanted to show that, you know, Barrios was definitely a game fighter. Him and his team prepared very well for this fight. They were very poised, way more poised than I thought the young fighter was going to be. I thought he was going to want to make a big statement. Obviously, they wanted to make a statement with being relaxed and maybe waiting for their opportunities. But, you know, once when I realized he's waiting a lot, that gives me more opportunities. It reminded me of Danny Garcia. Danny was just waiting to counter, and my movement and my stutter steps and my feints, it throws off their timing. And, you know, you think you know what it's going to be like to be in there with Keith Thurman. But once when I get moving to the left, to the right, back to the left, to the right, feint, jab, left hook, drop a few power shots, it's a little different, man. And, you know, I got him to hesitate. And, you know, it was easy for me to manipulate what I needed to do to win the rounds and be victorious tonight.
Keith Heineken.com, congratulations on your win. It looked like he affected you with a body shot, maybe the 8th round. Can you take us through that sequence and let us know how you felt with that?
It was weird, man. I ain't gonna lie. Backstage, I was sitting down and I felt my body hurting with the cup. It was weird. I was like, "Ooh, you ain't gonna want to get touched there today, boy." You know, I know everybody talks about being body shots, yada yada yada, but maybe it has something to do with the weight pool. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe my liver is a little sensitive. You know, I always try not to look at it like that. I'd like to say, you know, somebody lands a good shot, they land a good shot, and body shots are just different. You know, but it is interesting. If I breathe deeply, I can still kind of just feel awkward in that body region. Like I said, I felt tenderness before I was even touched tonight. So that one shot definitely awakened a little sensation of discomfort and pain, but it wasn't the hardest that I've ever been hit. If he was able to step in a little bit more, dig a little bit deeper, he may have been able to put me down. A lot of people who landed good body shots almost put me down, but look, they still haven't put me down, bro. You know, at the end of the day, they can't make it happen. So Pacquiao didn't do it, Mario didn't do it, and Luis Collazo didn't do it. You know, Sean Porter didn't do it. Sean's wasn't that good. I backed up because it landed, and then he rushed me, and it looked bad on TV. I know it looked bad on TV, and the commentators jumped on. I was hurt. I wasn't really hurt. But the other 3 body shots that I've taken that you guys seen on highlights, Keith Thurman was hurt. But that's what it means to be a world-class fighter. You know, it's like Phil Ivey. We got a poker face up in that ring. You know, and sometimes you can read a fighter, you can tell that he's hurt, but then that's when the true warrior spirit comes out, and we endure. And I make it through the round. I sharpen up. You know, let them take that round if the judges think that was enough to win. Otherwise, you know, we just get back into boxing and we get back to winning the fight.
Thanks for the honesty, Keith. I just wanted to ask you, moving forward, Terrence Crawford, when he was asked who he would want to fight, he has repeatedly mentioned you first, and he's obviously some free agent or whatever he is. What do you think about the possibility of making that fight as your next fight, and what do you think of the fight in general?
Well, you know, the fact that he's a free agent should make things a little bit better. Working with Bob is not fun for a lot of fighters. At the end of the day, I'm not sure. You know, you see what I'm wearing right now. You see what I'm representing. They've been asking me for a long time, where are you ranked, Keith Thurman? And I say, I don't know. One of the best fighters in the world. Who cares what rank they give me, what number they give me, what position they give me? You know, I do want to fight champions. I'm going to be looking forward to getting in the ring with a champion. I want an opportunity to get a world title again. So if that's the best opportunity, I'll take it. You know, I always love great fights. I love making exciting fights in the welterweight division. But like I say, you see what I'm representing right now. So this might be the ladder that I'm climbing. We know that Errol Spence, Udenis Ugas, none of these fights would have manifested if Keith Thurman didn't lose to Manny Pacquiao. So there was a shift in matchups once when I fell out of championship status. So I had the WBA, I had the WBC, I relinquished the WBC. Nobody beat me for the WBC world title, you know. So those belts I want back in my possession. I do like the fight with Terrence Crawford, but we'll just have to see what opens up, what really negotiates, how stubborn we get when it comes to what kind of split there is. You know, it's just business from here on out. I do like the fight, though. Thank you for the question.
Hey Keith, what's up? Jim Greasehover, Fight Lab. We talked the other day at the press conference, we did our interview, about all the time off, 3 fights in 5 years, the surgeries, the stuff you went through mentally.
Yeah.
How good does it feel right now, man, to have been in there and move the way you move, connect with your punches the way you did, and just to mentally know that you didn't lose anything, man. You're back to being you again. How's that feel?
Well, we felt pretty good in camp. You know, I was telling people, you know, you got to get the ring rust off in preparation, man. So I was moving and shaking and trying to groove and get my movement back. You know, you guys saw some of the stories. I've been doing more yoga. Yoga is beneficial for inside and outside of the ring, but inside of the ring is bringing more mobility. At the age of 33, you know, a lot of y'all are older than me. Y'all know what your body's been through, and you're not even a high-performing athlete like me, right? We suffered these injuries and gone through things. So at the end of the day, I know so much about sports science. For me not to implement it, it's just straight ignorance. So that's why I said there's one modality that I haven't done yet. I really need to jump on that. There's one other modality, to be honest, like high altitude training. I am debating about getting into that. So I just want to stay mobile, stay moving. I know I'm very crafty, and I think that's what's gonna help me in the future of this welterweight division.
What about mentally? We talked about what you went through and how you overcame, but the mental toughness it takes to be an elite athlete is incredible anyway. But with everything you went through, you talk about what that is for you to have this and to know when nobody else maybe around you is even thinking the same things you're thinking.
So I'll open up, man, and it was challenging even being here in Las Vegas. You know, Mario Barrios and me both were in a very interesting predicament this fight. We're both coming off of losses. How confident can a man feel knowing that he was stopped in his last fight, knowing that I lost in front of thousands and thousands of fans in my last fight? How much confidence can two warriors really bring into the ring? You know, if we're honest with ourselves, there's going to be that little voice that says, hey, you were just beaten. Hey, what happens if you can't do what you want to do, you know? And I heard that voice leading up to this week, you know, is Keith Thurman really back? You know, and I just said, look, man, you've been working hard, you've been moving well, you're very smart. You know it was a marginal loss. There was no, it wasn't a real negative. Even though it was negative, even though I felt a lot of negative emotions afterwards, enough time has gone by, the lack of activity can be looked at as a negative too. But for me, I turned it into a positive because it's allowed me to mentally get over a lot of the BS, man. And tell that voice, you are a champion, you know. My new t-shirt right here, it says be good, that's what we were today. It says be great, that's what we will be tomorrow. This says be a champion, and that's in our near future. So this is what I'm manifesting. Today you saw a good Keith Thurman. You're gonna see a great Keith Thurman, and you're gonna see the champion once again.
Keith, over there, Muhammad Mubarak with the Electronic Urban Report. Excuse me. How does it feel? Does it feel real good to be back after the long layoff? To be back on the stage and under the lights and put your hands in the air?
To be honest, it felt great from the moment we were waiting to walk out into the ring. Just seeing the fans, seeing their reaction, seeing all the anticipation, being the main event tonight. There was such a nostalgic feeling to the whole process. Like I said, from just being backstage with my team, it's been so long. Yet, you know, Carlos, I haven't seen Carlos in so long. But when we get back together, you know, this is family, man. This is just how we do it, and it just feels like a great blessing. So then we walked out into the ring, you know, then we walk up into the ring. And I took the time, you know, y'all saw me. I took the time before stepping in the ring. I took a look around. You know, we're back. Like you said, under the bright lights. I got in the ring. I felt the ring underneath me. I'm feeling the gloves in my hands, these small gloves. This is not a sparring match. You know, this is a fight. And I had a formidable opponent across from me who trained very hard, very, very young, athletic individual. And it just felt great. Putting myself on the line once again, you know, living this life of a world-class fighter as a warrior. And then even after the fight was over, we know we had a good performance. My team and I, we were confident that we walked away with a victory today. But even that final step of them holding my hand up in the air, you know, because that didn't happen 2.5 years ago. So I tell people all the time, Keith one-time Thurman wears red, white, and blue. Because I'm living my all-American dream. I started boxing at the age of 7, and I wasn't the best. I used to get beat up in the sport. day after day after day after day. Okay? When you're 7 years old, it's easy to get beat up. When you're 9 years old, it's easy to get beat up. When you're 10, 11, and 12 years old, it's easy to get beat up. Even when I was 14 years old, you know, they would just put me in with Andre Berto to beat me up, you know? So at the end of the day, Coach always can make a phone call, we can go to a gym and get me beat up, you know? And I tell people all the time, I got my butt whooped, and now I have the right to kick ass. And it's just a beautiful thing to be living this dream of mine. I love the sport of boxing. I just love it inside and out. It's more than a fight. It's a very sweet science. I call it the beautifully brutal sport. We saw what happened to Mario today. His nose, his eyes, and everything he endured. I had to endure punches. We were trading. We were just real fighters in the ring. I really hope you guys enjoyed what happened tonight. It was a beautiful night of boxing, and I look forward to having more great fights. This is what Keith Thurman is about, creating exciting fights in the welterweight division today.
All right, final question.
And Keith, Sean Patel fight night, great job tonight, man. You already touched on the Crawford fight. If Spence Ugas, you know, is offered next, the winner of that fight, do you feel ready, good to go for that fight, or do you feel like one more fight in between then would be ideal? Or let's do it.
Yeah, that's such a really good question. You know, because the fighter in me says, "Give it to me, let's go. I want to be champion. I want the winner." You know, but there's a weird little technicality that happened, you know, for some of those who read the article, that this was like a title eliminator to a title eliminator. I don't know the politics all the time, man. I'm just a performer. I do believe that I should be worthy of challenging any world champion at any given point in time, considering my resume and everything that has happened in my career. But it does feel very good to just be back. So if I have to take another fight and just keep, like I said, going from being good to being great to being a champion, then so be it. You know, I'm so happy to be back. I want to do what I haven't done in the past 2.5 years. Keith Thurman does want to be an active fighter. So we have to go back, talk to our team, see what's brought to the table through the networks, through Al Heyman, and just go with the flow, man. I just really want to have a more active year. I want to have more performances for the fans. I want to have more performances for myself. But no matter what, if it happens this summer, if it happens back in November and December, Keith Thurman is on the road to being champion in the welterweight division once again.
Well, thank you so much, Keith. It was great to finally have you back after your 2.5 year layoff. And now you are looking forward to a very busy 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Keith one-time Thurman, victorious over Mario Barrios here from Mandalay Bay. And enjoy this victory, Keith. Don't think about any future opponents right now. Soak in this one a little bit, and then I'm sure we'll be hearing news later on down the line for your busy 2022.
Thank you very much. It's great to see you too.
Keith one-time Thurman.